Friends, I love you so much. This is NTNC TV official from where you can get knowledge of English. Have you ever asked yourself if you don't speak English fluently? Here to TNC TV official, it is a short deal because you make sure all of the followers, all of the private candidates, all of the trainees, all of the people who want to know English, they are going to get certified. All of the explanations we deliver you here to TNC TV official. Before creating this channel, I have made more researches. I have seen that really it is possible to practice English like American, like a British, like English native. It is possible, dear friends. I told you that if you did primary, secondary, university, you are literate. Already you are literate. When you are literate, it means that you know local language. When you know local language, you speak local language, you have to add English. When you speak both local language and English, it means that you are going to expand your businesses. If you do businesses, it means that you are going to cooperate with the foreigners. You are going to change the idea, to share the ideas with the foreigners. To communicate with the foreigners, it requires to know English, to speak perfect English, to speak English without having the confusions about some words, some expressions, some sentences. I think that if it is not the first time you are opening the videos here, you have seen that really I tried to show you the lines you are going to follow, the line you are going to follow to reach the goals of speaking English, where English skills are going to get delivered here to TNC TV official. You can purchase the book I do have here, Getting Knowledge of English. When you have that book, I'm telling you, you read expressions, vocabulary, and grammar, and some stories myself I have written, and you see that within the shortest time you can be speaking English. Dear trainees, dear private candidates, everywhere you are, you continue to follow the way I explain you the lessons here to TNC TV official. I tell you that first of all, you have to master, you have to make sure I don't have any problem about the basic skills, dear friends. I don't want to see you in 2025 having the challenges about the basic skills. I think that the basic skills, dear friends, you have seen that when you learn English, by following the instructions, the advice I deliver you, you speak English without any problem. It is possible, dear friends. Okay? You did primary, secondary, university, and you are still having the challenges of communicating with the foreigners. That is the challenge that should be solved, that should be taken away. Here to TNC TV official, I teach you lesson by lesson. You have to know lesson number 1, lesson number 2, lesson number 3, lesson number 4, lesson number 5, lesson number 6, lesson number 7, lesson number 8, lesson number 9, until lesson number 10. So what do you think the lesson number 1 should be? The lesson number 1 should be absolutely nouns. If you don't know the nouns, I'm telling you, you cannot speak English. So nouns means what? You have to know all of the surroundings, okay? You know, you are surrounded by the people, animals, the things, places, times, and the ideas. So when you WhatsApp me, when you mail me, I try to clarify here. You understand what is the meaning of people. People, you're supposed to know what? Nouns of animals. Animals, which animals? You must know how they are called, of course, in English, okay? Things, materials, all of the materials surrounding you, or all of the materials you are used to meet in your everyday lives. You have to know them, how they are called in English, dear friends. Are there any material that you don't know how it is called in English for sure? If there is, you can WhatsApp me, or you visit different platforms from where they are going to explain you. It's not necessary here to TNC TV official. Here to TNC TV official, if you decide to follow the lessons of English, it means that first of all, you're gonna purchase the book Getting Knowledge of English. When you have that book Getting Knowledge of English, I teach you, I support you, I deliver you the book, and follow you and explain you more about all of those 10 lessons. When you know those 10 lessons, I'm telling you, you speak English confidently, you speak English freely when you commit some errors, when you are speaking, because you know English is not your mother tongue. If there is that is a strange language, it means that to commit an error, it can happen. It is not a big deal by here, because you know English is not your local, is not your language, is not your mother tongue, is not your national language. Yeah, even the English natives, they continue to learn. You know, the language is a large, is a large sea, is a large sea. You have to move on. Day by day, you should be ambitious to improve your skills, to increase your vocabulary. How to improve and increase your vocabulary? It, of course, to have a curiosity to know all of the surroundings. Everywhere you reach, all of the surroundings, you should be ambitious to know how they are called in English, so that the time you meet the foreigner, while he or she is speaking, you understand what he or she is talking about. Dear friends, make sure you don't have any problem, any confusion about the nouns. I mean people, animals, things, places, times, and ideas. If you don't understand this, you are going to give order of that book I do have here. After having that book, after receiving that book, I'm ready to continue to follow you, explaining you more about what you are supposed to do. That is very fundamental about the nouns. And nouns is lesson number 1. Make sure you know the nouns. After this, you have to understand more about the use of the pronouns, so that you start learning how you can construct the sentence. Because when you don't know the use of the pronouns, it is not easy for you to construct the best sentence. Let me remind you those pronouns. I mean personal pronouns, possessive pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, relative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, indefinite pronouns, reflexive pronouns, and reciprocal pronouns. Friend, trainee, you try this, you're gonna see that you're going to construct the best sentence. You know pronouns? This is the lesson number 2. You know, the pronouns are the words that are there to replace the nouns in the sentences. Where, for instance, Mr. John is going to be replaced by he. Miss Claudine is going to be replaced by she. You know, pronouns are there to replace the nouns in the sentences. It means that first of all, you have to know the nouns. After nouns, you know the pronouns. After the pronouns, you must know the verbs. The verbs means what? The verbs means the actions. When you don't know the verbs, when you are poor at knowledge of the verbs, I'm telling you, it is not easy for you to speak fluent English, because you speak fluent English when you don't have the confusion about the verbs. I told you that verbs, you have to study the verbs like this. You have to know auxiliary to have to do, modal verbs, can, must, may, shall, and will, and full verbs. Full verbs are all of the verbs you can find in English, except apart from auxiliary verbs and modal verbs. In the book Getting Knowledge of English I have tried to show you the list of the verbs you must know, the list of the common verbs are used, you must know, so that you may quickly be fluent in English. So here, when you are learning the verbs, you have to know also 12 what? 12 tenses. The conjugation of those verbs in 12 tenses. We have seen that the verbs can change their forms in 12 tenses. Those 12 tenses should be known to ensure that you don't have any problem, you don't have any confusion about the construction of the sentences. Those 12 tenses are simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous. Simple past, past continuous, past perfect continuous. Simple future, future continuous, future perfect continuous. You see there are 12 what? 12 tenses you must understand. After knowing 12 tenses, you are going to understand what we call a lesson that we call 6 moods of speaking. 6 moods of speaking means what? There is a mood number 1 that is called the indicative what? Indicative mood. Example, if we say, tomorrow I will study English. This is indicative mood. You must know imperative mood. For instance, I can say, study English, please. Study English, please. This is imperative mood. You must know subjunctive mood. For instance, you can say, if I studied English, if I studied English. This is the mood that is called the subjunctive mood. Mood number 4, conditional mood. Example, you can say, I should study what? I should study English. I should study English. This is A. A, you say, I should study English. This is conditional present. There is also conditional past. I should have studied what? I should have studied English. Today, I should have studied English. There is a participle. Present what? Present participle and past participle, you have to know it. When you say, I'm studying English. I'm studying English. This is present participle. Where you see studying, present participle, it is when the verb is ended by ing. Absolutely, that verb should be preceded by to be. Amu, are, is plus verb plus ing. This is the present participle. There is also past participle. Friends, by here, you have to be serious when you are learning past participle. Where you say, I should do. Where you say, I have studied English. This is a present perfect. When you say, I have studied English. Have is always followed by past participle. I have studied. I have read. I have written. I have eaten. I have drunk. I have gone. I have given. I have forgotten. I have forgiven. And so on. Have should be followed by past participle. That's why you have to know participle mode. Present participle and past participle mode. You have to know it. After this, you must know more about the infinitive mode. Infinitive means what? When the